All right, adventure lovers, buckle up. We're about to take you on a wild ride.
Through the deserts and coastlines of Peru.
You heard right. We're diving deep into a 2-day tour.
Of Ica and Paracas.
So get ready for ancient history.
Heart-pumping thrills.
And maybe even a sip or two of...
some seriously good wine.
We're talking about ancient ruins.
Giant sand dunes.
And penguins.
In Peru.
That's right.
Penguins.
So day one, we start in the city of Ica.
A place steeped in history.
First up,
The Plaza de Armas.
the heart of the city.
Back in colonial times.
And of course, no trip to Ica is complete without a visit to...
The cathedral.
But here's where things get really interesting.
We're going to the Museo Regional de Ica.
And this isn't just any museum.
It's packed with artifacts.
From the Paracas and Nazca cultures.
Wait till you see the Paracas textiles.
They're really something special.
You'll be blown away by the craftsmanship.
What makes them so unique?
These pieces are more than just beautiful designs. They give us a glimpse into their beliefs, their rituals,
Right.
and their mastery of textile techniques.
Like you're stepping back in time.
You can practically feel the history.
Woven into each thread.
Exactly.
From ancient textiles to...
The traditional Ica winery.
Wait a minute. Peru has a wine region.
It's a hidden gem.
I had no idea.
Ica's vineyards have been producing wine for centuries.
Wow.
The dry, sunny climate is perfect for growing grapes.
Sounds perfect.
So you're not just tasting wine.
You're tasting history.
The legacy of a long and rich viticultural tradition.
I love that. From ancient artifacts to centuries-old wineries.
History is everywhere in Ica.
But hold on tight, because next...
We're heading to the oasis of Huacachina.
An oasis in the desert.
Imagine this. You're surrounded by towering sand dunes.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And suddenly this lush oasis appears.
Oh.
With palm trees and a shimmering lagoon.
It's like a mirage.
It's like something out of a dream, a true desert paradise.
Officially adding this to my travel bucket list.
But the adventure doesn't stop there.
Oh. What else is there?
Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping dune buggy ride.
Dune buggies.
Through the
dunes. Picture yourself racing up and down those sandy slopes.
Feeling the wind in my hair.
It's an experience that will leave you breathless, literally and figuratively.
Now that's what I call an adventure. But wait, there's more, right?
Sandboarding.
Sandboarding! What in the world is sandboarding?
If you've ever snowboarded,
Oh, okay, I get it.
you'll get the basic idea, but instead of snow,
You're gliding down giant sand dunes.
it's a rush of pure excitement, and even if you're a beginner, you can still have a blast.
That sounds like the perfect way to end a day filled with history, culture, and incredible landscapes.
Day one is all about exploring Ica and the surrounding desert.
So what about day two?
We're heading to the coast.
The coast.
Get ready for a scenic boat trip
From where?
from the town of Paracas.
Okay.
As you cruise along the Pacific, keep your eyes peeled for the Candelabro geoglyph.
Wait, what?
The Candelabro geoglyph.
What is that?
It's a massive prehistoric figure. A prehistoric figure.
Etched into the side of a cliff.
Wow. Who created it?
That's the fascinating part.
What is it?
Nobody knows for sure who created it or what it means.
A total mystery.
Some theories link it to the Nazca. You'll see them lounging on the rocks,
Soaking up the sun.
swimming in the water,
Wow.
and even barking at each other.
This place sounds unbelievable.
It's a nature lover's paradise.
Why is this area such a haven for wildlife?
It's all thanks to the Humboldt Current.
The Humboldt Current.
This cold, nutrient-rich current flows up the coast of South America,
I see.
bringing a bounty of food that supports a whole ecosystem.
So it's like a giant buffet for all these amazing creatures.
From tiny plankton to massive whales, it all starts with the Humboldt Current.
Wow. And do we get to learn more about these animals?
You got it. We'll be visiting a sea lion conservation center.
Oh, cool.
Where you can learn about the challenges these animals face and the efforts being made to protect them.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about seeing the wildlife.
It's about understanding their importance and contributing to their conservation.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And after our island adventure...
We're heading back to the mainland.
Okay.
For a tour of the Paracas National Reserve.
Tell me more about the Paracas National Reserve.
Imagine dramatic cliffs.
Okay.
Plunging into the Pacific Ocean.
Beautiful.
Vast stretches of desert meeting the sea.
Sounds amazing.
And beaches with sand that's red.
Red. Red sand.
Yes, you heard that right, red.
This is blowing my mind.
It's a landscape that's both stark and beautiful.
This trip sounds like a photographer's dream.
We've explored the islands, we've experienced the desert.
Now we're diving into this incredible coastal reserve.
What are some of the highlights?
Yes, tell
Be
me.
from the Mirador de la Peninsula de Paracas.
Okay.
You'll get panoramic views of the entire reserve.
Sounds incredible.
We'll visit Playa Roja, the famous red beach,
Can't wait to see that.
as well as Lagunillas and Yumaque,
Lagunillas and Yumaque.
each with its own unique charm.
We're going to experience a whole range of ecosystems in just 2 days.
It's a testament to Peru's incredible biodiversity.
From the lush oasis of Huacachina to the windswept shores of Paracas.
And what's fascinating is that each of these ecosystems plays a role in the bigger picture.
Oh.
The ocean currents influence the desert climate. The desert plants provide habitats for unique wildlife.
So it's all connected.
It's all interconnected.
It's not just about seeing these amazing places,
It's about understanding how they're all connected.
how they all fit together in this grand tapestry of nature.
Exactly. Speaking of fitting things together,
Okay,
let's talk about the logistics of this trip.
good idea.
This 2-day tour is designed to be hassle-free,
Hassle-free, I like the sound of that.
with accommodation, transportation, and entrance fees all taken care of.
So less planning and more exploring.
Exactly.
So tell me, where will we be staying?
You'll have a choice. The tour includes one night's accommodation with breakfast
Nice.
at either a hotel in Ica
Okay.
or in Huacachina.
So if I want to be in the city,
You can stay in Ica.
but if I want that oasis vibe,
Huacachina is the perfect spot.
I love that you get to choose your own adventure.
What are the hotel options?
Yes, I'm curious.
In Ica, there's the Hotel Las Flores, known for its comfortable rooms and friendly service.
Sounds lovely.
If you opt for the Oasis experience, there's the Hosteria Suiza,
Okay.
with its charming courtyard and swimming pool, perfect for cooling off after a day in the desert.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And then there's the Hotel Carasi,
Hotel Karasi.
another great option in Huacachina, known for its unique architecture and relaxed atmosphere.
So many choices. This tour really does cater to all tastes. And you mentioned that transportation and entrance fees are included.
That's right. You won't have to worry about logistics.
Perfect.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And speaking of choices,
Yes.
you can experience this tour in either Spanish or English.
So language is no barrier to this incredible adventure.
Exactly.
It sounds like they've thought of everything, but are there any extra costs we should be aware of?
Just a couple of things to keep in mind.
Okay, let's hear them.
Lunch and dinner aren't included in the package.
Right.
So you'll need to budget for those.
Makes sense.
And certain activities like sandboarding
Right.
might have additional fees.
Good to know.
Hmm.
So to recap,
2 days of history, culture, and adventure.
ancient ruins,
Traditional wines.
dune buggy rides,
Incredible wildlife.
all in one incredible package,
Like a whirlwind tour of everything amazing about Peru.
packed into 2 unforgettable days.
And we haven't even talked about the personal
The
experiences,
stories we'll gather.
the memories we'll create.
Speaking of which,
It's time for a deep dive into what other travelers have said about this incredible journey.
let's hear it. What have people been saying about this Ica and Paracas adventure?
One traveler raved about their guide,
Oh, really?
who went above and beyond to make their experience in Ica memorable.
That's great to hear.
They were particularly impressed with their guide's attentiveness
Sounds like a great guide.
and how they were well taken care of throughout the day.
It's so important to have a good guide.
They did mention wishing there was more interaction with the local culture in Ica.
Interesting.
They felt like the activities were very tourist-oriented.
So not quite as authentic as they were hoping for.
It's a balance.
Between catering to tourists and providing authentic cultural experiences.
Exactly.
What else did you find in the reviews?
Another traveler,
Yeah.
a parent with young children,
Okay.
had nothing but praise for the activities.
Glad to hear.
The stunning locations
Yeah.
and the well-prepared guides.
That's always reassuring for parents.
They did mention a slight issue with the pickup time
Uh-oh.
and a change in the Ica City tour itinerary.
Did they miss anything important?
They missed out on visiting a particular historical house.
Oh, no. Wow.
That was mentioned in the tour description.
Well, hopefully it didn't ruin their trip.
It sounds like they still had a great time.
Any other reviews?
A couple
Yeah.
couldn't stop raving about their overall experience.
It seems like most people really enjoyed the tour.
They specifically mention the exceptional service they received at their hotel in Ica
Oh,
from a particular staff member.
It's those little things that can make a big difference.
Those personal touches that make a trip truly special.
So based on these reviews,
This 2-day adventure through Ica and Paracas is a definite hit.
of course, every traveler's experience is unique.
But it's always helpful to hear feedback from those who've been there and done that.
It sounds like this tour is well worth considering.
And it highlights the importance of choosing a reputable tour operator.
Right.
One with experienced guides and a commitment to providing quality experiences.
Doing your research,
Reading reviews
making sure the tour aligns with your interests and expectations.
is key to a successful trip.
We've been chatting for a while now.
I know.
I bet our listeners are eager to hear.
About how to experience this incredible adventure for themselves.
Right. How to actually book this trip.
Don't worry, we've got you covered.
We've got all the information you need.
To book this incredible 2-day tour of Ica and Paracas,
Just a click away.
you'll find everything in the show notes,
Including links to the tour operator,
info on pricing,
accommodation options.
and those little extra costs we talked about.
Speaking of extra costs,
This might be a good time to talk about money matters.
budgeting for a trip to Peru.
It involves more than just booking the tour.
Things like flights, meals, souvenirs.
Those can add up quickly if you're not careful.
So let's break it down.
Yeah.
What are some typical costs?
First off, flights to Peru.
Okay, how much are we talking?
Depending on where you're flying from and the time of year,
Right.
round-trip airfare can range from a few $100s to over $1,000.
That's a pretty big range.
Why?
Any tips for finding affordable flights?
Flexibility is key.
In terms of,
Consider flying during the shoulder seasons,
what are those?
spring and fall.
Okay.
You'll often find lower fares than during the peak tourist season.
Which is summer.
Right.
And I know there are websites and apps that can help you track flight prices.
Setting up price alerts can be a lifesaver.
I'll have to do that.
You'll get notified when prices drop for your desired travel dates.
Now, what's next?
Let's talk about food.
Food. One of my favorite parts of traveling.
Peru is a foodie's paradise,
I've heard good things.
and you'll want to budget for trying all the delicious local cuisine.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a mix of indigenous ingredients and influences from all over the world.
Give me some examples.
You can't go wrong with ceviche,
Ceviche, what's that?
the classic Peruvian dish of fresh raw fish marinated in citrus juices.
Sounds delicious.
And then there's lomo saltado,
Lomo saltado.
a stir-fry of beef, onions, tomatoes, and soy sauce served with rice and French fries.
Beef and French fries.
That's a new one.
It's a Peruvian classic.
I'll have to try it. And what about if I'm feeling adventurous?
Try coup.
Coup? What is coup?
It's guinea pig.
Guinea pig. Wow. I don't know about that one.
Mm.
Okay, so we've got flights, we've got food.
What about accommodation?
Right. We talked about the hotels included in the tour.
But what if you want to extend your stay?
Good point. What other options are there?
Peru offers a range of accommodation options to fit every budget.
From hostels to luxury hotels, I imagine.
Hostels are a great option for budget travelers.
How much are we talking? With dorm beds starting as low as $10 a night
Wow, that's affordable.
for something more comfortable.
Like a mid-range option?
You can find guest houses and 3-star hotels starting around $50 a night.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And if I want to splurge,
Peru has some incredible luxury hotels,
I bet,
especially in cities like Lima and Cusco.
with all the bells and whistles.
Rooftop pools, world-class restaurants, and stunning views.
Sounds amazing.
But of course, those come with a higher price tag.
So when it comes to accommodation,
There's something for everyone in Peru.
from budget backpackers to luxury travelers,
Exactly.
what about transportation within Peru?
Getting around Peru is relatively easy and affordable.
How so?
Buses are the most common and economical form of transport,
Bucks.
with extensive routes connecting cities and towns throughout the country.
I've heard those long-distance buses in Peru can be quite nice.
They can be.
Really?
Many offer reclining seats,
Fancy.
onboard entertainment,
Wow.
and even meals.
Not your average bus ride.
For shorter distances, you can also find taxis and ride-sharing services.
Especially in larger cities, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Now, what about souvenirs?
Peru is a shopper's paradise.
Especially for handmade crafts, I've heard.
You'll find everything from colorful textiles and alpaca wool sweaters
I've always wanted an alpaca wool sweater.
to silver jewelry and traditional ceramics.
They're so soft.
Alpaca wool is known for its luxurious softness and warmth.
It's true.
And it's a sustainable and ethical choice,
That's good to know.
supporting local communities and preserving traditional weaving practices.
So when buying souvenirs,
It's important to consider quality and ethical sourcing.
not just the price tag.
Exactly. Supporting local artisans and sustainable practices is a great way to make your travel dollars go further.
And have a positive impact.
Right.
So we've covered the practicalities of planning a trip to Peru.
Now let's get back to the heart of this deep dive.
The incredible 2-day adventure through Ica and Paracas.
To really understand the magic of this region.
We need to go beyond the itinerary.
And delve into its history and culture.
Okay, I'm ready for a history lesson.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about the ancient cultures that once thrived in this area?
We're talking about civilizations that predate the Incas by centuries.
Centuries.
Wow.
The Paracas culture.
The Paracas culture.
Known for its intricate textiles and elaborate burial rituals.
Burial rituals.
Flourished in this region from around 800 BCE to 100 CE.
That's ancient. What kind of burial rituals did they practice?
They mummified their dead.
Mummified.
And buried them in bundles.
Bundles.
Wrapped in layers of finely woven textiles.
That's fascinating.
These bundles, called fardos, were often adorned with elaborate designs and symbols.
What kind of symbols?
Offering clues about their beliefs and worldview.
So they weren't just burying their dead.
They were creating works of art that have survived for millennia.
Incredible. The skill and artistry involved.
These textiles provide a window into their understanding of astronomy, medicine, and even their social hierarchy.
It's amazing how much we can learn from these ancient artifacts. The colors, patterns, and symbols all held meaning.
Telling a story without words.
Exactly.
What about the Nazca culture?
The Nazca culture.
I talked about them earlier.
Known for those enigmatic Nazca lines etched into the desert floor.
Yes, those giant geoglyphs.
Flourished in the region from around 200 BCE to 600 CE.
And we still don't know for sure what they mean.
While we still don't fully understand the purpose of those lines,
Right.
we do know they were skilled astronomers and engineers.
I've always been fascinated by the Nazca Lines. Imagine the effort involved in creating those massive designs.
It's mind-boggling.
That are only visible from the air.
It's a testament to their ingenuity and their understanding of geometry and astronomy.
What do you think they were for?
Some theories suggest the lines were used for ceremonial purposes.
Like what?
Perhaps processions or rituals connected to the movement of the stars and the seasons.
So they were mapping the heavens as well.
It's incredible to think about these ancient cultures and their connection to this land.
So we've talked about the ancient cultures of this region.
Now let's bring it back to the present day.
Okay. What's life like in Ica and Paracas today?
Ica is a bustling city.
The heart of Peru's wine region.
It's a blend of colonial architecture, modern amenities, and a laid-back vibe.
Sounds like a cool place.
Paracas, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is a small coastal town,
Okay.
a gateway to the National Reserve and the Islas Ballestas.
So it's more about nature and wildlife.
It's a place to escape the hustle and bustle.
And soak up the natural beauty of the coast.
Exactly.
Two very different experiences.
But both equally captivating in their own way.
And the people who live in these places.
Warm and welcoming.
I bet.
Proud of their heritage and eager to share their culture with visitors.
It sounds like this 2-day adventure offers.
Not just incredible sights and experiences.
But also a chance to connect with the people and the culture of this region.
Exactly.
Speaking of connections,
Yes.
we talked about the Humboldt Current earlier.
And its impact on the marine ecosystem.
Can we delve a little deeper into that? What makes this current so special?
The Humboldt Current is one of the most productive marine ecosystems in the world.
Okay, we know it's important.
It's a cold, nutrient-rich current that flows up the coast of South America,
Right.
bringing a bounty of food that supports a vast food web.
So how does that work?
The cold water of the Humboldt Current creates a sort of upwelling effect,
Okay.
bringing nutrients from the deep ocean to the surface.
I see.
These nutrients act like a fertilizer,
Okay.
feeding tiny plants called phytoplankton.
Phytoplankton.
Those are like the microscopic plants
Right.
that form the base of the food chain.
Like the foundation of the whole ecosystem.
And these phytoplankton are eaten by small creatures like krill,
Okay.
which are then eaten by larger fish,
Right.
birds,
Okay.
and even mammals like whales,
So it's like a chain reaction,
with each level dependent on the one below it.
starting with the phytoplankton.
Right. And the Humboldt Current supports an incredible diversity of life.
From the tiniest creatures to the largest.
From tiny anchovies to massive blue whales.
It's amazing to think about how interconnected everything is.
It's a delicate balance.
That's crucial to maintain.
Not just for the marine ecosystem,
But for the people who depend on it too.
but for the livelihoods of people who depend on the ocean for food and income.
That's why conservation is so important.
Protecting the Humboldt Current means protecting the livelihoods of people
The food security of nations?
and the incredible biodiversity of our planet.
It's a reminder that we're all part of a larger ecosystem
Our actions have ripple effects.
that extend far beyond ourselves.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about one of the most iconic creatures found in the Humboldt Current.
The Humboldt penguin.
Penguins, tell me more about them.
Humboldt penguins are one of the few penguin species that live in temperate climates.
So not in the freezing polar regions.
Not freezing polar regions.
Interesting.
They've adapted to the relatively warm waters of the Humboldt Current and are found only along the Pacific coast of South America.
From Peru to Chile.
Exactly.
So they're unique to this part of the world.
But their populations are declining.
Oh no, why is that?
And unfortunately, Humboldt penguins are facing a number of threats,
Such as?
including climate change,
Of course.
overfishing,
Right.
and habitat loss.
Those are some serious challenges.
Climate change is altering ocean temperatures and currents,
Affecting the penguins' food supply?
affecting the availability of their prey.
And overfishing is making things worse?
Overfishing is depleting the anchovies and sardines they rely on for food.
It's a sad situation for these penguins.
It is.
But are there any efforts being made to protect them?
There are a number of conservation efforts underway,
That's good to hear.
including establishing marine protected areas,
To safeguard their habitat,
promoting sustainable fishing practices,
to ensure there's enough food for them,
and raising awareness about the importance of protecting their habitat.
so people are working to make a difference.
Hopefully, these efforts will be enough to save the Humboldt penguin
We can all do our part to help.
by supporting sustainable seafood choices.
And advocating for policies that protect our oceans.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about another important conservation area.
The Paracas National Reserve.
This coastal desert landscape.
Why is it important to protect it?
Yes, tell me.
The Paracas National Reserve is a unique blend of coastal desert,
Rocky cliffs
sandy beaches.
and islands teeming with wildlife,
It's home to a remarkable diversity of plants and animals.
many of which are found nowhere else on Earth.
Right.
Okay, we know it's beautiful and diverse.
But what makes it so important from a conservation standpoint?
Yes, why is it so crucial to protect?
The Paracas National Reserve protects critical habitat for endangered species,
Like the Humboldt penguin?
including the Humboldt penguin,
Okay,
the Peruvian booby,
I've never heard of that one.
and the South American sea lion.
So it's not just about protecting pretty landscapes.
It's about safeguarding entire ecosystems.
And the species that depend on them for survival.
The reserve also plays a vital role in mitigating climate change.
Really? How so?
The coastal desert ecosystem acts as a carbon sink.
Absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't know that. So protecting this reserve is good for biodiversity and for the planet.
It's a reminder that nature provides us with essential services.
From regulating our climate to providing food and clean water.
Protecting these ecosystems is not just an act of altruism.
It's an act of self-preservation.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a powerful message.
And speaking of powerful messages,
It's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
we've covered so much ground,
From the practicalities of planning a trip to Peru,
to the depths of Peruvian history and the importance of conservation,
we've journeyed from the bustling city of Ica,
to the tranquil oasis of Huacachina,
from the windswept shores of Paracas.
to the islands teeming with wildlife,
We've explored ancient cultures
sampled delicious cuisine.
and learned about the delicate balance of the Humboldt Current.
I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive,
I know I have.
and that you've gained a deeper appreciation for the beauty, the diversity, and the resilience of this amazing region.
I definitely have. And I'm sure our listeners have too.
And speaking of our listeners,
They're probably wondering how they can experience this adventure for themselves,
stay tuned for the next part of our deep dive,
where we'll reveal all the details on how to book this incredible trip.
and how to make the most of your Peruvian adventure.
But before we go,
I want to leave you with one final thought.
okay, what is it?
Imagine yourself standing on a towering sand dune,
Overlooking the vast desert landscape,
the wind whipping through your hair,
the sun warm on your skin.
and the feeling of pure freedom washing over you.
That's the magic of Ica and Paracas.
A place where adventure awaits around every corner.
So don't just dream about it.
Look at a reality,
And join us for the next part of our deep dive.
where we'll show you how.
Until then,
Happy travels.
so are you ready to dive back into the incredible world of Ica and Paracas?
We've covered so much ground already,
From ancient cultures to modern-day adventures.
but now it's time to talk about the practical side of things.
Like how to actually make this dream trip a reality.
That's right. We're going to walk you through everything you need to know.
From booking the tour to budgeting for your adventure.
And of course, we'll share some insider tips along the way.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's start with the tour itself. How do people actually book this amazing 2-day adventure?
Well, you're in luck.
Oh, why is that?
Because we've made it super easy for you.
Awesome.
All the information you need to book the tour is right there in the show notes.
Easy peasy.
You'll find links to the tour operator, details on pricing, and all the important information you need to know.
Perfect. So no need to scour the internet for hours on end.
Nope. We've done all the hard work for you.
So all you have to do is click the link and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about money matters.
Yes, the all-important budget.
Because let's face it, planning a trip to Peru involves more than just booking the tour.
It certainly does.
There are flights to consider, meals to enjoy, souvenirs to buy.
All those little things can add up quickly.
If you're not careful.
Exactly. So it's crucial to have a plan.
So let's break down some typical costs travelers might encounter.
Starting with the big one,
Flights.
flights to Peru.
How much should people expect to shell out for airfare?
Well, it really depends where you're flying from.
Right, that makes sense.
And the time of year you're traveling.
Peak season versus off season.
Exactly.
So give us a ballpark figure.
Round-trip airfare can range from a few $100s to over $1,000.
Wow, that's quite a range. Any tips for finding those elusive, affordable flights?
Absolutely.
I'm all ears.
Flexibility is key.
Okay, I can see how that would help.
If you're able to adjust your travel dates even slightly.
You might be able to snag a better deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And consider flying during the shoulder seasons.
Shoulder seasons? What are those?
Spring and fall.
Oh.
You'll often find lower fares than during the peak summer months.
Makes sense. Less demand.
And don't forget about those handy-dandy travel websites and apps.
The ones that help you track flight prices.
Right. Set up some price alerts.
So you get notified when prices drop.
It's a great way to stay on top of those fluctuating fares.
All right, flights are sorted. What's next on the budget breakdown?
Let's talk about food.
My favorite topic.
Peru is a foodie's dream destination.
I've heard so many good things about Peruvian cuisine.
It's truly a unique blend of indigenous ingredients and influences from all over the world.
Like what?
Well, you've got fresh seafood from the Pacific coast,
Okay.
hearty Andean dishes,
Interesting.
and influences from Spain, Africa, and Asia.
Wow, a real melting pot of flavors.
It's an explosion of taste for your palate.
Okay, I'm officially starving. Give me some examples of must-try dishes.
You can't go wrong with ceviche.
Ceviche, that's one of the raw fish, right?
That's the one, fresh raw fish marinated in citrus juices.
I've always wanted to try that.
It's a classic for a reason.
Okay, what else?
And then there's lomo saltado.
Lomo saltado, what is that?
It's a delicious stir-fry.
Of what?
Beef, onions, tomatoes, and soy sauce.
Okay, I'm following you.
All cooked up together and served with a side of rice and french fries.
Beef and french fries. That's an interesting combination.
Trust me, it works.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
And what about if I'm feeling a little adventurous?
Well, in that case,
Hit me with it.
you might want to try pea.
Coo? Now that's a word I haven't heard before. What is it exactly?
It's guinea pig.
Guinea pig. As in the furry little pets.
The very same.
Wow, I don't know if I'm brave enough to try that one.
It's a delicacy in Peru.
I'll believe you.
But hey, maybe you'll surprise yourself.
Maybe. All right, so we've covered flights and food.
Two of the most important things in my book.
Absolutely. What about accommodation?
Yes. Where to rest our weary heads after all that exploring.
We talked about the hotels included in the tour.
But what if you want to extend your stay?
Or explore other parts of Peru.
Exactly.
So what kind of accommodation options are available in Peru?
Well, the good news is
What is it?
Peru offers a wide range of choices to suit every budget.
From budget-friendly hostels to luxurious 5-star hotels.
You got it.
So let's break it down, starting with the most affordable options.
Hostels are a great choice for backpackers and budget travelers.
How much do they typically cost?
You can find dorm beds starting as low as $10 a night.
$10? That's amazing.
It's a great way to save money and meet fellow travelers.
What about something a little more comfortable?
Well, if you're looking for a bit more privacy and comfort,
Without breaking the bank?
you can find guest houses and 3-star hotels for around $50 a night.
$50? That's still pretty reasonable.
If you're feeling fancy,
Ready to splurge a little.
Peru has some incredible luxury hotels,
I bet.
especially in cities like Lima and Cusco.
The kind of places with rooftop pools and breathtaking views.
Exactly. Think world-class service, gourmet restaurants, and luxurious amenities.
Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine those come with a hefty price tag.
They certainly do.
But hey, if you're looking for a once-in-a-lifetime experience,
Why not treat yourself?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So when it comes to accommodation in Peru,
There's truly something for everyone.
no matter your budget or travel style.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got flights, food, and accommodation covered.
What's next?
How about transportation within Peru?
Ah, yes. Getting around this vast and diverse country.
What are the best ways to travel between cities and towns?
Well, the most common and affordable option is by bus.
Buses. Are they comfortable?
You might be surprised.
Oh.
Peru has a well-developed bus network,
Mm-hmm.
and many of the long-distance buses are actually quite luxurious.
Luxurious buses. I've never heard of such a thing.
Think reclining seats, onboard entertainment, and even meals.
Wow, that doesn't sound like your average Greyhound experience.
Not at all.
And what about for shorter distances?
Within cities and towns, you can easily find taxis.
Okay.
And ride-sharing services are becoming increasingly popular.
Especially in larger cities like Lima. So getting around Peru shouldn't be a problem.
No, you've got plenty of options.
All right, transportation is sorted.
Now let's talk about something fun.
Souvenirs.
I knew you'd be excited about this part.
Who doesn't love bringing home a little piece of their travels?
And Peru is a shopper's paradise.
Especially for handmade crafts.
You'll find everything from colorful textiles to beautiful ceramics.
What about those alpaca wool sweaters I've heard so much about?
Oh, they're a must-buy.
It's supposed to be incredibly soft and warm.
They are.
I've always wanted one.
Alpaca wool is known for its luxurious quality.
And it's sustainable and ethical too, right?
Absolutely. Buying alpaca wool products supports local communities.
And helps preserve traditional weaving practices.
It's a win-win situation.
So, when shopping for souvenirs in Peru,
It's important to consider quality and ethical sourcing.
not just the price tag,
Exactly. You want to make sure your purchases have a positive impact.
right? We've covered flights, food, accommodation, transportation, and souvenirs.
I think we've pretty much covered all the essentials.
We've given our listeners a comprehensive guide to planning their Peruvian adventure
Now it's time to delve even deeper.
into the heart of Ica and Paracas.
Let's explore the rich history and culture of this fascinating region.
I'm ready when you are. Let's go.
Ready for the grand finale.
Absolutely. I'm excited to hear what other travelers have to say about this epic adventure.
Well, you're in for a treat because the reviews are glowing.
Really.
Tell me more.
One traveler couldn't stop raving about their guide.
Oh, what made this guide so special?
Apparently, he was incredibly knowledgeable, super friendly, and went above and beyond to make sure everyone was having a great time.
It's amazing how a great guide can really elevate the entire travel experience. Absolutely. It's like having a local friend showing you around, sharing those insider tips and stories you wouldn't find in any guidebook.
Exactly. Did they mention any specific examples?
They specifically mention the guide's passion for the region and his ability to bring the history and culture to life.
Sounds like a true expert.
And this traveler wasn't the only one singing his praises. Several other reviews mentioned his exceptional service.
So it seems like we've got a top-notch guide in our corner.
Absolutely. But what about the activities themselves? Did they live up to the hype?
That's the million-dollar question. Let's find out.
Well, another traveler who was traveling with their family
Look.
raved about the variety and excitement of the activities. They said their kids were absolutely captivated by the dune buggy ride.
I can only imagine.
And even the adults couldn't resist trying their hand at sandboarding.
Sounds like fun for the whole family.
This tour really does cater to all ages and adventure levels.
So whether you're a thrill seeker or prefer a more relaxed pace.
There's something for everyone.
Did this family mention anything else?
They also mentioned how impressed they were with the well-organized nature of the tour.
It's always a relief when everything runs smoothly, especially when you're traveling with kids.
Right. They said everything from the pickups to the site visits was seamless.
Which makes for a much more enjoyable experience.
Exactly. And speaking of enjoyable experiences,
Yep.
another couple who took the tour couldn't stop raving about the breathtaking beauty of the Paracas National Reserve.
Those dramatic cliffs plunging into the Pacific Ocean.
I said the views from the Mirador de la Peninsula de Paracas were simply unforgettable.
I can only imagine.
And they also mentioned how much they enjoyed visiting Playa Roja.
The red sand beach.
They said it was like stepping onto another planet.
Wow, red sand beaches, desert oases, penguin colonies.
This trip just keeps getting more and more surreal.
It does, doesn't it? What other gems did you find in the reviews?
Another traveler described their encounter with the sea lions on the Islas Ballestas as pure magic.
Oh, the sea lions.
They said the playful antics of these creatures brought laughter and joy to everyone on the boat.
I bet. Those sea lions are quite the characters.
And speaking of memorable encounters,
Yeah,
several travelers mentioned how much they enjoyed visiting the Sea Lion Conservation Center.
that's great to hear.
They learned about the challenges these animals face and the importance of protecting their habitat.
It's always inspiring to see tours incorporate an element of conservation.
Absolutely. It's not just about observing wildlife.
It's about understanding their importance and contributing to their well-being.
Exactly. It's about traveling responsibly and leaving a positive impact on the places we visit.
Well said.
So there you have it.
It seems like this 2-day adventure through Ica and Paracas is a real winner.
Based on the glowing reviews from fellow travelers.
It's a journey of discovery.
A chance to connect with nature.
Immerse yourself in history.
And create memories that will last a lifetime.
We've packed the show notes with everything you need to start planning your own epic Peruvian escape.
You'll find links to the tour operator.
Information on pricing and accommodation options.
And even some insider tips on what to pack and what to expect.
So hit that subscribe button
Check out the show notes.
and get ready to experience the magic of Ica and Paracas for yourself.
And remember,
Adventure is out there waiting to be discovered.
so go explore, learn, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Until next time.
Happy travels.